Some places lift you up, others drag you down. Ever noticed how you walk into one room feeling great but leave exhausted, while another space instantly makes you feel refreshed? That's not a coincidence. Every place carries an energy, a vibe shaped by its surroundings. Understand it, and you stop being at its mercy. The first is human emotions that have seeped into space over time. Okay, before you think this is all bluff, hear us out. Ever stepped into a room and felt like you just walked into the echo of something unspoken? Like the air itself is still buzzing with whatever just happened. People leave an imprint on their environment, whether they mean to or not. Every conversation, every laugh, every moment of sadness or joy, it all leaves a trace. This is why when you step into a room right after a fight, you can feel the tension before anyone says a word. It's in the way the air sits, the way people avoid eye contact, in the way your body instantly knows something is off. It's not just perception. Your nervous system picks up on microsignals like subtle body language, leftover stress hormones in the air, even shifts in temperature or posture that you don't consciously register. Your body knows before your brain does. And here's the thing. Some spaces have been absorbing emotional energy for years. Think about places where people constantly argue, toxic households, stressful offices, courtrooms. Over time, that collective stress builds up. But before we move to the second factor, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to dive deeper into the mysteries of energy and emotion. The second factor that shapes the energy of a place is its history. Every space also has a past, whether you know about it or not, and some places have seen things. Think about a childhood home, yours, a friend's, or even one you visited once. Even if the house is empty, you can often feel what kind of life unfolded there. Some houses feel warm, like they've been filled with laughter and love. Others feel eerie, like something is missing, or worse, like something still lingers. This isn't about ghosts or paranormal theories. This is about emotional energy getting trapped in a place. Consider a battlefield. If you've ever visited one, you know the feeling. Even though the physical war is long over, the energy of what happened never fully left. It's the same with old prisons, hospitals, and places where major tragedies took place. The weight of human suffering doesn't just disappear when people leave, it stays. And this doesn't just apply to extreme places. Alright, let's step away from the energetic side for a second and talk about something scientific. Have you ever been in a room with no windows, bad lighting, and stale air, and within minutes you feel tired? Like your brain is moving slower, your mood drops, and you just want to leave. That's not just psychological, that's your body reacting to a poor environment. The environment is the third and the most important factor contributing to the energy of a place. For the sake of simplicity, there are three major constituents to what we call an environment. The first is light, which is your brain's direct connection to energy. Sunlight tells your brain it's daytime, keeping you alert and energized. That's because your body runs on something called a circadian rhythm, which is an internal clock that regulates when you feel awake, when you feel sleepy, and even things like hunger and body temperature. This rhythm is directly influenced by light, with natural sunlight triggering the release of cortisol, your body's natural wake-up hormone, keeping you sharp and focused. Fluorescent lights, on the other hand, they're cold, artificial, and unbalanced, completely out of sync with what your body actually needs. That's why spending hours under them, whether in a hospital, an office, or a shopping mall, can leave you feeling drained, even if you've had plenty of sleep. These artificial lights trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, messing with your melatonin levels, the hormone that helps you wind down and rest. That's also why dim, cozy lighting makes a place feel calm and relaxing. Your brain responds to warm light like a sunset by signaling your nervous system to unwind. It's a built-in cue for your body to slow down, reset, and prepare for deep rest. So if you want to change the energy of a space instantly, fix the lighting. Open a window, add a lamp, use candles. Lighting doesn't just affect how a place looks, it literally rewires how you feel inside it. When we talk about the environment, we think about the air around us, and that's precisely the next point. Ever walked into a room that smelled musty or felt stuffy? That's because bad air quality affects your brain, your mood, and your energy levels. Your body is designed to function best with fresh air. That's why when you step outside after being in a closed space for too long, you feel like you can finally breathe again. A perfect example of how bad lighting and stale air can drain you? Hospitals. But we'll get into why they feel so heavy and what that does to you later in the video. The final constituent of the environment is the clutter, or how messy it is. Walk into a messy room and you're sure to feel overwhelmed. It's because your brain processes everything in your environment, even if you're not looking directly at it. The more clutter there is, the more mental energy you're spending just trying to filter out distractions. That's why minimal, organized spaces feel lighter. Your brain isn't drowning in input, and it can actually breathe. We'll get back to how these factors could be affecting your own home in just a moment. Some environments drain you the second you walk through the door. Others do it slowly over time, chipping away at your energy bit by bit until you feel permanently exhausted without even knowing why. So let's talk about those places. Hospitals always seem to drain you, right? You could walk in feeling fine, but an hour inside and suddenly you need a deep breath, a long shower, and maybe a nap. Yes, hospitals are places of healing, but they're also filled with suffering, anxiety, and grief. Think about it. Patients walk in with fear, families carry grief, and while some celebrate new life, others mourn a loss just down the hall. The walls, the floors, the waiting room chairs. Every inch has absorbed years of emotional highs and lows, and that energy lingers. And then there's the physical environment. Fluorescent lights, the sharp smell of antiseptic, and the cold, sterile walls. No windows, no fresh air, no connection to the outside world. Just a space where thousands of emotions clash and settle into the atmosphere. No wonder you feel drained just by being there. Now here's where things get personal. What if the place that's draining you the most is the one place you thought was supposed to recharge you? Your own home. We know it sounds crazy. Your home is supposed to be your safe space, your reset zone, the place where you can let your guard down. Think about it. Ever had a long, exhausting day and the second you step through the door, instead of feeling relief, you feel heavier? Like your stress didn't leave at the doorstep, it just followed you inside. That's because your space isn't helping you reset. It's amplifying what you're already feeling. And the biggest culprit? Yep, you guessed it, it's clutter. Messy, disorganized rooms don't just take up physical space, they take up mental space too. The more objects lying around, the more your brain has to process, even if you're not paying attention to them directly. That's why cluttered environments create a sense of restlessness, anxiety, and overwhelm. Your mind is constantly scanning the mess, even if you don't realize it. It's why walking into a clean, minimalist space feels instantly calming, while stepping into a chaotic, cluttered room feels mentally suffocating. Now, let's take it deeper. Even the history of your home affects how you feel inside it. If you've gone through hard times like a breakup, a stressful job period, a period of depression or loneliness, some of that energy might still be lingering. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room that reminded you of a painful moment? Maybe it's a bedroom where you used to cry yourself to sleep, a couch where you had a heated argument, a dining table that feels strangely empty now. It's not just nostalgia, it's energy that hasn't been cleared. And if you're wondering how you're going to do that, we've got your back. But first, let's see the other end of this spectrum. So now that you know what drains you, let's talk about the good stuff. The places that recharge you. The places that, when you step inside, you don't feel weighted down, but instead, you feel lighter, fresher, better. These spaces don't just help you relax, they restore you. They refill what the world has drained out of you. And once you start spending more time in them, you'll notice something. Your stress lowers, your thinking clears, and you just feel better. First on that list, nature. And listen, we already know what you're thinking. Oh great, another person telling me to just go outside like that magically fixes everything. But trust us, this is different. This isn't about touching grass for the sake of it. This is about why nature is the most powerful reset button you have. Ever noticed how just a few minutes in nature can completely shift your mood? You could be drowning in stress, overwhelmed, or stuck in your own head, but the second you take a walk, sit by the ocean, or even just stand under the sun, you feel like you're breathing again. That's not a placebo. That's your nervous system resetting itself. See, unlike man-made spaces, nature doesn't hold on to stagnant emotions. Buildings absorb energy. Cities are loaded with stress, noise, and tension that just sits there. But nature? It's always moving, always flowing. The trees don't hold on to yesterday's problems. The rivers don't store negativity. The wind doesn't replay arguments. Nature is in a constant state of renewal, and when you step into it, it starts renewing you too. The air in deep forests just feels different, right? Well, it's not just a feeling. There's science to back it up. The trees are literally purifying the air, filling it with oxygen that's cleaner and richer than what you get indoors. The ground beneath your feet is charged with electrons that help stabilize your body's electrical system. That's why walking barefoot on grass or sand, something called grounding, can actually lower inflammation, reduce stress, and balance your energy. Nature isn't the only place where energy feels lighter. Some human-made spaces have the same effect, but for a different reason. Ever walked into a church, temple, or meditation room and just felt at peace? Even if you're not religious, you can tell something's different. The energy is still. It's quiet but not empty, like the air itself is holding something sacred. Think about it. People step into these places to seek peace, not create chaos. They come to pray, to meditate, to surrender their worries. The walls have absorbed years of reverence, and that energy builds up, creating an environment where the moment you step in, your own energy starts to slow down and align with it. That's why even if you don't follow a certain faith, stepping into an ancient cathedral, a quiet monastery, or a simple room meant for meditation feels different. And it doesn't have to be a religious place. Even a library can carry this kind of energy. You ever notice how libraries feel peaceful even when they're full of people? It's because they've been used for focus, learning, and quiet contemplation for so long that they carry that stillness within them. These are places where the energy has been intentionally cleared and replaced with something calm, restorative, and grounding. And here's the best part: you can create that kind of space for yourself. Not every high-energy place is out there in the world. Some of the most recharging spaces can be the ones you create for yourself. Think about the places where you feel most at peace. Maybe it's a cozy coffee shop, the kind with warm lighting, soft music, and the gentle hum of conversation in the background. Maybe it's your favorite reading nook, where you can escape into another world, untouched by the noise of reality. Or maybe it's just a sunlit corner of your home, a spot where you feel warm, safe, and completely at ease. Whatever it is, it's yours. And here's the thing. Your personal sanctuary doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be a space that makes you feel calm, safe, and recharged. And if you don't have one, make one. And how do you make one? Just think of everything we've discussed in this video. Start simple. Declutter the space. Get rid of anything that stresses you out, like stacks of papers you keep meaning to organize, clothes you never wear, random junk collecting dust in the corner. Because clutter isn't just physical, it's mental. The more mess you see, the more your brain has to process, and the harder it is to relax. Next, fix the lighting. Ever notice how soft, warm light instantly makes a space feel cozier? Overhead fluorescent lights, not so much. If you want to shift the energy of a room, swap out harsh lighting for lamps, candles, or even fairy lights. Then, add something that calms you. A small plant, a scented candle, a soft blanket. Maybe even just an object that makes you happy, like a framed photo, a piece of art, something that reminds you of a good time in your life. These little things don't seem like much, but they anchor a space in comfort. Most importantly, make it a no-drama zone. This is your space to reset. Keep it free from stress, arguments, unfinished work that lingers in the background, or anything that reminds you of things you need to do instead of just being. This space isn't for anyone else's energy, it's for yours. And here's the best part. It doesn't have to be a whole room. It could be your bedroom, a corner of your living room, a balcony, or even your car. It doesn't matter where. What matters is that it's a place where you can breathe, reset, and recharge. Alright, so now you know why certain places affect you. Some spaces lift you up, while others leave you feeling like a phone stuck at 1% battery and barely functioning, just waiting to shut down. So what do? How do you step into a draining space without letting it drain you? The answer? You take control. You learn how to protect your energy so that no matter where you go, you stay centered, unshaken, and unaffected. Let's start with what happens before you even step into a draining space. Say you're about to walk into an office filled with negativity, a hospital where stress hangs in the air, or a house where family tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Before you go in, pause, breathe, and then, in your mind, set a boundary. Imagine a shield around you, something strong, something unbreakable. Maybe it's a bubble of light, an invisible armor, or just the firm decision that you're not taking any of this in. This isn't just some fluffy visualization, it's a mental shift. When you actively choose to separate your energy from the energy of the room, you stop yourself from absorbing the chaos. But let's say you already spent the day in a draining space, and now you feel heavy, sluggish, maybe even irritated for no reason. So now you reset. Just as you wash your hands after touching something dirty, you need to rinse off whatever energy you just carried home with you. One of the best ways? Water. Take a shower, wash your face, even just run your hands under cold water. The water isn't just cleansing physically, it resets you energetically too. And if you can't shower, step outside. Nature is the ultimate reset button. Fresh air, sunlight, even just standing barefoot on the ground for a few minutes can help you shake off whatever stress you've been carrying. And let's not forget, your environment isn't just physical, it's digital too. You could be in a peaceful, quiet room, but if your eyes are glued to your phone, scrolling through bad news, toxic social media, or online arguments, you might as well be sitting in the middle of an emotional war zone. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real-life stress and digital stress. It just knows you're taking in negative energy. Be intentional. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Ditch the doom scrolling. Swap stress-inducing content for something that fuels you. Because whether it's a physical space or a digital one, your energy depends on what you let in. The best part? You have a choice. Spend more time in places that recharge you. Create high-energy spaces that feel refreshing, not exhausting. And most importantly, learn to protect yourself from environments that try to pull you down. Hit that like button and share this video to spread the word about the power of your environment. And if you want to dive deeper into how the Zodiac system was designed to influence us, watch our video on how the Zodiac was created to control humanity. Subscribe for more content.